What's up, everyone? This is Spilling Tea with Chris G, and tonight I'm going over Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. I'm going to be doing my top five highlights, and I'm going to go ahead and spill that tea at the end, so let's get started. So, for my first highlight, to continue on from last week's episode, this Brandi and Max Lux situation is out of control. So apparently Max Lux hasn't been home in 3 days. He's been out and about trying to get his mind right. And what better way to do it other than a strip club where you can just go ahead and blow some money. So Brandy had showed up to the strip club and she was like, "Are you freaking serious right now? I gotta sit up here with a whole bunch of strippers, booties up in my face to try to talk to my husband." So Brandy, she tried to play the pity card. You're acting like you can't come home to me and your son, like it ain't worth it. And Max Lux, he's saying he misses his son. He loves his son. But Brandy, you lying about that boutique is crazy. And you can't even say, "You know what, I messed up, I'm sorry." Instead, you trying to play the child card, the pity card. So Max Lux said, "Forget it." And he bounced on Brandy again. So, of course, she's chasing this man again. Okay, how many times, Brandy, we gonna see you chasing this man? You done chased him out the house, out the studio, out the boutique. Now we at a strip club. I'm just saying. On to my second highlight. Masika, and we finally get to see Fetty Wap on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. So Masika had met up with Nia Riley and Jason Lee, and they were picking out some outfits for the baby to come home in because Masika is about ready to pop. And Masika, of course, had to give the warning to Jason Lee to don't be repeating, what she's talking about. So she was basically giving them the rundown of how the whole social media beef had started between Masika and Fetty. Now, if you guys don't remember, Fetty had claimed to not be the father of Masika's baby girl. They were just going back and forth about this whole situation. And Masika was, basically telling them to this. And then now he contacted her, and now all of a sudden he wants to be a father and be there for the birth. So Masika was just questioning Fetty's intentions. So the next scene shows that Fetty and Masika, they finally get to sit down and kind of talk about the situation. And Masika, she was like saying, "You treated me real bad, during this pregnancy, but, I still want you to be there for the birth of your daughter." And Fetty Wap was like, he is going to be on tour. And so he wasn't sure if he would be back in time to see the birth. But they're going to try to work it out together because he does want to be a father to his baby girl. So fast forward, Masika goes into labor. She's in the hospital. Her parents are there. And Fetty was in New Jersey and he flew all the way to Los Angeles. And yes, he did make it on time for the birth of Barbie Kari. So congratulations. On to my third highlight, we finally get the introduction of Safari. So Safari was explaining to us who he is. He's Jamaican. He is out in California, single, living it up. He needs somebody to rub some coconut oil back on his little glistening chest with his Joanne the Scammer fur coat on. He done scammed that girl out that fur coat. He all he's missing is the cool cigarette pack. Now you need the cigarette pack to complete the look. Safari, you messed up. He was also explaining to us that he was in a relationship with Nicki Minaj for 12 years. I was like, dang, he was in the background that long for 12 years. So he was telling us that he was a composer, he was an A&R, he was a producer. I mean, he did everything, and I think he was a record label too. I mean, he was doing it all for Nikki. But they had a bad breakup 2 years ago, and now he's ready to move on. So yes, he did move on to another Nikki, Miss Nikki, baby. So he's getting out the pool and walking up to Miss Nikki. Her booty is tooted up on a little, little chair, whatever. Did anyone notice when Safari went to go lay down next to Nikki, his feet was dirty? I was confused because I could have sworn you got out of the water with your glistening like you like it, and your feet was still dirty at the bottom. So I think you're Peter Gunning me. I think that's what you're doing on the West Coast. So Safari asked Nikki, what are we? Are we exclusive? And she basically told him the same thing she told Fizz. No, we just dating around. I'm just dating around. I'm just being young and fun and having a good time. And then they got to kissing, and they was, they would be a sexy couple if they was for real like that. They would be a real sexy couple. On to my fourth highlight. Miss Nikki, baby, she just out here lying to these folks. So this scene talks about, or basically is about, Nikki and Rosa Costa. If you guys don't know, she is Nikki's new love interest. Rosa is doing a photo shoot for Nikki's lingerie line, and then Nikki decides to join in once they head to the bedroom scene. So Nikki again got her booty tooted up, and she's doing a little lingerie, snap, snap, click, click. After all that is done, photographer, I guess, is packing up his stuff because it was just about them two. And Rosa also asks, "Are you seeing anyone else?" And Nikki, here she come lying. No, I'm not seeing no one else. And Rosa, she said, "Okay, well, if you are, at least tell me, are you seeing a man?" "No, I'm not seeing anyone. I'm not seeing no one." So now, come on, Nikki, you done got two people believing y'all exclusive, and you just out there being a player, and ain't nothing wrong with it. On to my fifth highlight. This mama beef is too much and it's getting out of control. Lyrica Garrett and Pam need to get it together. So, Lyrica Garrett had met up with Pam at a bar to try to squash their beef and to try to resolve their issues, and of course, that did not work. Lyrica Garrett always brings up the fact that Pam lives in the apartment with A1 and Lyrica Anderson. Well, of course she does, because, I guess it was supposed to be temporary, but temporary kind of turned a little permanent. But Pam did admit that she did move out of the apartment, and she didn't tell Lyrica Garrett, but she just didn't like the fact of her approaching so aggressively on this situation, about her moving out. And she also didn't like the fact that Lyrica Anderson always goes back and tells her mom everything. So the conversation started kind of going left. So later on in the episode, A1 had met up with Ray J and Safari. They were at the studio, and A1 has showed Safari and Ray J the ring that he had got Lyrica, because he really, he loves that girl. He want to go ahead and marry her. But this mama drama is getting out of control. So Ray J, he didn't have a whole lot of advice, but he was trying to, say, well, y'all need to just go ahead and sit down and try to hash this thing out. So that's what A1 did. A1, Lyrica Anderson, Lyrica Garrett, and Mama had all went to a sit-down restaurant to try to work out their beef. Didn't go so well. Did not go so. Ended up in a physical fight, actually. White people looking at them. But basically, what happened was, as soon as A1 said we could come together like a family, Lyrica Garrett was like, "Well, I don't feel like no family, but let me go ahead and make a toast." And so Pam had jumped in the middle of the toast, and Lyrica Garrett didn't like that. She was like, "How you gonna toast something before I toast something? That is my toast." So all of a sudden, Pam had threw the drink on Lyrica Garrett. Lyrica got up. A1 got up. Everybody got up from the table. Security came over and rushed into the whole situation. A1 is yelling at his mom to tell her to be quiet. Lyrica Anderson is crying. I mean, it just created chaos. And all A1 was trying to do was try to get them together over some food to try to hash out their issues and go ahead and proposed to Lyrica Anderson. But, well, I guess we'll have to see that proposal in another episode. So let's go ahead and get it popping with some hot tea for you guys. So, did anyone catch Masika's shade on Twitter last night? Before the episode premiered of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, she had took to Twitter to say, "Y'all tune into Love and Hip Hop Hollywood tonight to see my baby daddy lying to my face again. Him so good at it, pretend that he wants to be a good daddy. Aw, Masika's sending love to Fetty." Also, if you guys are not on Twitter following Mama D, she always comes for the Love and Hip Hop Hollywood cast. She had made a tweet. Let me grab that for you guys. "I love when the fellas get together and just sit and gossip about the women of the world. Nail polish and tight jeans is all you need. Hashtag love hip hop Hollywood." Hey, Mama D, stop talking about A1 nails. We already know. We know the situation. And then if you guys have not noticed, Monique Slaughter has not been on this whole entire episode. Well, apparently she did take to Twitter as well to let us know that she won't be on the next 4 episodes possibly. So I don't know what Love and Hip Hop is doing. I don't know what direction they taking, but I need a little bit more niece, because sometimes you just need a little bit more crazy added to the mix. Anyways, that is it for tonight's tea. Please make sure you subscribe and follow the Facebook page Spilling Tea with Chris G, or you can find me on Instagram KrystinGrant. See you guys next week.